What you don't realize is NoFap is a rigged game. It's been a rigged game since the beginning, and you're on the losing side. Forget about NoFap and all the BS that's attached to it. Your problem isn't that you have no self-control when it comes to fapping. Your problem is you don't have a lot of things going on in your life and you haven't addressed the problems that caused you to fap in the first place.
I'll do it.
I still remember that day. I was a 7th grader laying in my bed with my laptop. It was a hot summer day. And I was scrolling on the internet, searching for the next anime to watch. At the time, I had just finished Dragon Ball and thoroughly binged Pokemon. And minding my own business, an ad popped up with a naked woman. I remember clicking on it and discover a strange sensation. Holy shit, this is a naked woman. And for the first time in my entire life, I bricked up on command. Thing is, it wasn't a real woman. It was Boma without any clothing on. And I didn't know what to do with my bricked up pecker. See, it wasn't all that bad at the beginning. It was all innocent discoveries and curiosities. I would only see these adult content whenever an ad would pop up as I pirate anime. And being the innocent kid that I was, I used to send these pop-up ads to my cousin and we would have a pretty good time laughing about it. But the thing is, things started to change. I would look up naked woman whenever I get bored. Because of course, I was socially awkward in real life and it was the only way I could see naked woman to fulfill that desire to be good with girls. You know, when you're a teenager, you start to go through puberty and develop a liking towards the opposite sex. So I fell into a deeper and deeper and deeper rabbit hole, an addiction as you would call it. I was constantly seeing men and women doing stuff together. And then, of course, I learned about the power of my right hand. After seeing many scenes of girls playing with the guy's pekka, I was like, if I use my right hand and did the same motion, what could possibly go wrong? It was teenage bliss. Sad to say, I was hooked on adult content from that point on. From the age of 16 to 20, I was constantly fapping uncontrollably, like no self-control whatsoever. I remember there was this one time, bro, I was searching up on Google if playing with myself was normal because I was doing it 3 to 4 times a day. Like, bro, it was so bad that my pekka was becoming bruised because how many times I would play with it a day. And you know what's the crazy thing?
Oh no!
Research says that playing with yourself is actually very healthy, right? But these are the same researchers that suggest that you should eat processed food and eat cereal for breakfast.
Okay, you got your crunch berry part of a balanced breakfast.
So despite what I read and what I learned about how fapping was healthy, I knew it wasn't. I'm not dumb.
I'm not retarded.
See, I've always been a person that never really fit in. I always had the idea in my head about building something with my life and becoming someone for someone else. Whilst my friends were busy being normal kids, I was always inwardly with myself, thinking and plotting in my mind. There's one thing I've learned from watching anime, playing video games, and watching endless amounts of movie. I was always picturing myself leveling up and becoming someone I would personally find cool. I know if the main characters in video games, anime, and movies can do it, why can't I? Alright, this is the same question I've asked myself many times over. Now, that's where pornography came into the equation. Whenever I felt like I was losing myself. I felt powerless after the post-nut clarity. I had things I know I should do, but I never had the motivation or drive to actually go out and do them. I guess a part of me was scared to go out to do my own things, and fapping became the distractions that numbed my fear. Of course, around this time, I got into the self-improvement content space and would discover what you call the
in the NoFap community.
I put air quote here because the NoFap community is very much a cult.
Praise the Lord! Praise the Lord!
Once you get indoctrinated into it, it becomes something that you obsess over. But More on that in a bit. I would go on NoFap content binges to figure out how I could have more self-control and quit leaking my seeds that would effectively take away my motivation and drive. And the thing is, I did quit. Every single time November would come by and the thing called No Nut November would be a thing.
So jerk off, ate bad food. My brain's kind of fucked right now.
I would promise myself that I quit. So often, I would go on what the NoFap community calls streaks. Essentially, you would count the days after you decide to quit fapping and see how long you can last without opening up the hub and nutting. At one point, I held out for around 6 months before relapsing. And you know what I felt when I relapsed? Shame, guilt, apathy. I was like, damn, I gotta restart my streaks again. But I never restart my streaks immediately because after you relapse, there's this phase that you feel, and it's very similar to depression and apathy where you're like, fuck, I worked so hard only to give up. And then you lose a piece of yourself whenever you relapse. And it's only after you got over this hump of depression or apathy that you can start the streaks over again. I remember feeling like I was in a hole that the teenager version of myself dug. No motivation, emptiness, numbness. I couldn't feel anything, and I wanted to postpone these problems for my future self. And indeed I did. After relapsing and then counting the streaks over and over and over and over again, I was like, there has to be something I don't know, right? See, the main problem was never adult content or playing with myself. Maybe you might think that that's just me coping with my past, but hear me out, okay? The addiction is never the problem as the NoFap community depicts it out to be. The main problem was the reason I was addicted to adult content in the first place. And until I fix these problems, the underlying problems,
That's why I will keep on moving with extreme focus and speed.
the addictions came back over and over. Now, what were the problems, I hear you ask? Well, deep down, I was insecure. I was afraid of taking meaningful actions and potentially put myself out there in the discomfort. I was afraid to do what's necessary to get good with women. I was afraid to change my identity and abandon the routine that has made me into the person that I was. The thing is, I was deeply afraid of having things going on in my life. Chances are, you are so deeply insecure with yourself. Chances are, you're not very good with girls. You have zero self-respect and you have not done anything in your power to get your shit together. In order to address all these things, you must start by fixing 4 aspects of your life: girls, fitness, purpose, and money. If you take the time to work on yourself, this includes your body and your mind, and by doing so, going through the process, you build yourself into a man that will attract girls easily. You will find that finding time to play with yourself in the dark is nearly impossible. Like, why play with yourself when you have the skills and environment to get you girls and have a good time with them, right? You wouldn't want to do it. So the progression level looks like this. Number 1, get fit. Number 2, find out what you want and go after it. It doesn't matter what this is, but you must have a reason to wake up every single day. It could be building a business if that's what you want, or a career, or master a skills of some sort. Number 3, find a way to make money and know you can make money. Money gives you independence and control. When you realize you don't have to ask your parents for money or kiss the ass of your boss for a paycheck, that is when you feel truly liberated. And as men, I feel like we strive for independence. If you're not independent as a guy, you feel trapped. You don't feel like a man, you feel like a boy that's not matured yet, right? When we're boys, we have to ask for permissions to do things. But now that we're men, nobody's here to give you permission. You yourself are your own man. If you work on the above 3 things, you should be improving yourself constantly, whether that be your looks, your finance, or your mental headspace. The next step is to put yourself back into the dating market and gain some experience. Know that everybody starts as a newbie when it comes to any skill. Number 4, get good with girls. There's really no way out of this, bro. Like, you are addicted to adult content in the first place because you think you can't get good with girls, or you can't get any of them. Getting good with girls is just another skills in your arsenal, and you're gonna have to embrace that's gonna suck a lot at the beginning. Like, take it from me, bro. I used to be a plain out gamer, a plain out weeb, a plain out nerd. I had to take myself, put myself back in the dating market, and it sucked a lot at the beginning, but it does get better. It's a game of you continually improving yourself, and because you're improving yourself constantly, your result changes over time. As you get more compliment from girls and become highly desired by them, you develop a sense of entitlement. I would say that this is what you should strive for, right? As nice, plain out guys, you don't have a sense of entitlement. You let people walk all over you. And until you can develop a sense of entitlement, you're not going to respect yourself. You must put yourself first. You must get to the point where you know you have the goods. You are Prince Charming. You have choices. So, now that we got to this point, let's wrap it around. Let's go back to where we started. Where do you think playing with yourself in the dark fits into these progression levels? It's an obvious question, right? Nowhere. Once you start your progression journey, fapping will not be on your mind because you will see there's many things better to do and can keep you quite occupied and could use your time. Like, if you waste your energy on fapping and you see that you're losing energy, it makes no sense for you to keep doing it instead of, putting your effort and energy towards these things. Building yourself, building your mind, building a business, building a skill. Like, bro, these things will give you valuable results. Versus if you play with yourself in the dark, yes, it can make you feel very good, temporary, but you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna lose energy afterwards. So yeah, fix the problem that caused you to fap in the first place, bro, and stop counting your days and make the days count. If you need help making a body transformation and needing some direction, consider joining the Gone Bad Club. It's in the description below, and it's free for the moment. And yeah, I'll see you next time, alright?